Hey, this is Lynn. I have just completed week 54 of the carnivore diet. I'm back home in Washington State, done with my trip to Texas with the Healing Humanity crew, going to the Hack Your Health conference, and it is good to be back home. Texas is hot and humid, and it was fun. I'm going to be reporting on how my weight is doing because last week it was this crazy, let's see, how much did I gain? According to the scale, I gained 3.8 pounds of actual fat. And according to the scale, I lost 0.4 pounds of, lost 0.4 pounds of muscle, which has never happened. So I suspected that it was the travel. Maybe my scale was all calibrated wrong. Hard to say. So this week, I feel like my results this week are probably a little closer and true to the actual effects of travel. And traveling does impact your weight. It does. It's a stressor on the body. It's not a completely benign situation. Even when you have a really good time and it's a positive experience, it's still a stress on the body. So I'm going to be reporting where I'm at as of this week. So I'm saying it's trending back in the right direction, but I'll go through the details in just a moment. I am going to say that as far as an overall assessment of how I did with my mass activation syndrome during the trip, I'm going to give it about a B+, I'd say. Primarily because I did have one reaction that took me out that whole day. And I reported on that last week with lots of abdominal issues. But the good thing is that I did pretty well with the heat. And I'm not saying I was out in it a ton, but it was really warm. And we're fortunate where we stayed. There was a lot of trees, so there was a decent amount of shade, but humidity is humidity. It is not Washington State. I mean, I was looking at my phone with the weather back home, and it was in the 60s back home, and it was in the 90s with humidity where we were staying. So that is quite a shock to my system coming from Washington, and I did pretty well. Sorry, I got a little itch here. And anyways, I don't really edit this stuff. I just kind of stream of consciousness, talk. If I itch, I scratch. So sorry about that. But anyways, so sorry. I think another reason why I give myself a B+ is because I'm actually still really tired. Like my resilience is not where I want it to be when it comes to things like, going out and exerting myself, travel. It's way better than it would have been before. Like I would have been in bed. So we got home on Friday. This is Monday. I would have been basically completely unable to do anything. And I wouldn't have been able to even really function to do this video today in the past. So that is a success, but I'm not going to pretend like I'm perfectly fine. I'm not. And I honestly don't know if the fatigue I'm experiencing is any different than the fatigue that other people would experience with a trip like that. And especially when the climate is different and, you're staying up really late talking to people because you're enjoying your time together. So hard to say. I don't want to claim that that this is really an MCAS thing. It just may be that I'm 56 years old and I had a really busy 10 days and traveling, and this may be how you would be if you were in my situation without MCAS. Hopefully, as time goes on and as I become more fit and as I am able to be more active, I will also become more resilient. So that's my hope. One of the things that I took away from this whole trip is there was a lot of discussion about aging and the fact that so many things that we attribute to just aging really don't need to happen. We talked a lot about Maggie up in Alaska, who we're filming for the documentary. Ashley from Carnivore Brothers was really inspired by, Dr. Barry stating for men by age 50 you should be dangerous. And he's, I think, about a year and a half away from 50. He's really wanting to get fit, and so that by the time he turns 50 he's going to be dangerous, and I know he can do it. I think he's signing up for Steak and Butter Gang. He's going to be doing some coaching. Coach Raymond was there, which was awesome. Got to meet him. I think I got to meet all of the Steak and Butter Gang coaches. Now, I had already known Emily because we are together on the Healing Humanity team, but I had not met Raymond before. Nice. And he was super concerned about me when I was having that bad day. He was hanging out with us the day that I was having a really rough time. And he's probably the one person who showed the most concern. And I mean, everybody was concerned, and I'm not discounting anyone else's concern. But he's the one that came and he sat with me and he talked to me and he showed a lot of concern. So I really appreciate that. And, he gave me some tips and neat guy. I really appreciated that. But man, is he fit. And so hopefully he's going to be helping Ashley and, help him to be dangerous by 50. But, Ashley was a really just neat person to get to know a little bit. And I think I don't know if he's gone yet, but he was headed down to Mexico. He had his anniversary, I think his 23rd anniversary, while we were there. I think it was, I forget which day it was. But anyways, it was while we were there. So I think he's headed down to Mexico for a trip with his wife. So Ashley, if you're watching this, I hope you're having a wonderful time. If you haven't left yet already, then hope you have a wonderful trip and enjoy your vacation. Man, well earned. I took a little video with Ashley, so I'll go ahead and show that now.
Go ahead.
Okay, hey there. I am here with Ashley Rogers.
Hello.
All right, his channel is Carnivore Brothers.
Yes.
And I wanted to make sure that everybody on my channel knows who Ashley is. We've been hanging out here at the ranch with the Healing Humanity crew. Ashley has been the most amazing cook. He's been keeping us fed. But it has been such a blessing to meet Ashley. I have been absolutely loving spending time and one thing that I really appreciated is that we do share our faith.
Yes.
And that means so much. And we got to hang out the other night and share music videos with each other and have a really great time. Just, it's nice to have that commonality. And
Carnivore community is the best. And
absolutely.
When you can tie the health and healing into your faith, and on top of that,
that's right.
Doesn't get any better.
And Ashley has reversed his type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
I have got a commitment from him to come on my channel, and I'm going to interview him so he can share his story. So if you have not gone to his channel before, please go subscribe to Carnivore Brothers.
Yeah, well, thank you.
So,
thank
awesome.
You.
Wonderful to meet you.
Been amazing to be here.
Okay.
What a trip.
Okay, neat guy. And I'm looking forward to having him on my channel. And I'm going to wait till he gets back from Mexico and hit him up for a live stream so that he can share his story. But anyway, so as far as reacting, that was the major day, was just having that one day of reacting with abdominal issues. I did avoid, there was a ton of smoked meat and I did avoid it. Now, at the very end, I took some of my DAO enzyme and I went ahead and allowed myself to have this, I guess it's a breakfast roll. Ashley made it. Oh my gosh. It was so good. I'll post a picture. But basically what he did was he made a basket weave square of bacon. And then he smashed this really clean, I think it was Italian sausage, all over it. And then he kind of lightly scrambled eggs, I think just enough to where they hold their form, and put that in the middle and rolled it all up. And you'll have to watch his channel because the first attempt was really funny. I'm not going to say anything more, but we got to experience attempt 2. and he's going to go ahead and share on his channel what happened with the first attempt. Lindy was filming it because she wanted to see the process and so that she could make it back home. And yeah, anyways, that's all I'm going to say. Go watch his channel and see what happened. He will be posting, if he hasn't already, I haven't checked, but if he will be posting a video of what happened. It was really funny. But anyways, so I did break down, take some histamine digest so that I could have a slice of that. It was beautiful. So he smoked it. So he rolled it up and he smoked it. And so typically for me, smoking, you wouldn't be good. But I tried to be really, really careful and avoid the smoked meat. And I was really careful with what I ate. And so I took the DAO enzyme ahead of time. And then I did have some of that. And it was yummy. It was so good. If you're okay with histamine, you don't have problems with smoked foods, go check out his channel and see how he makes that. And if you have a smoker, highly recommend. It was delicious. Yeah, and it actually set fine. I think the DAO enzyme definitely helped. It's not something that I do all the time, and it's something that I use just for an exception. And that was a worthwhile exception for sure. So anyways, let's see. I showed some pictures from in my last video. And I know I said, oh, I'm probably going to be filming again. No, I didn't. I got caught up in just all the activity and all the stuff we were doing and talking with people and didn't do a whole lot of filming. Carrie, Homestead How, he has video. He did a lot of pictures and video and all that. So you can go check out that stuff on his channel. But kind of early on, we had a really cool evening, and I think I mentioned it last week, where Bella and Max showed up, Dr. Chafee and Elle showed up, and we all ate dinner. And it was Carrie and Adam weren't there. They were at a VIP dinner with Hack Your Health, and so it was just a bunch of us back behind the scenes crew. We had some, I think we had some steak and butter gang people there, and we took a really cool picture just on the staircase in the barn. And so, I'll show you that picture, and it was really nice. There was some people that were just, part of Steak and Butter Gang, but don't have YouTube channels that joined us, and just really nice. Really just, a really nice group, and we just chatted and hung out, and it was really cool. I have some other pictures that I took kind of later because I'd forgotten. I didn't take any pictures with Carrie and Adam. And so got a picture too with Ashley. They joined us. I've got a picture with the four of us. Another one where we had Dave join in. It was so nice having Dave there. Took a picture before at 6 o'clock in the morning. Took a picture with me and Katie, Carrie's one daughter. We had 2 out of the 3 of his triplets that were there, Katie and Emma. So I took a picture outside with Katie. And it was oh, this is a little dark. So I went inside the house, took a picture with Emma. Both of them are just sweethearts. And, it's interesting because they're triplets. They're obviously fraternal triplets, but just the different personalities. And, Emma's a little more outgoing. Katie's a little more quiet, but just smart girls. And, they've got that entrepreneurial spirit. They're starting a skincare line with tallow, and they were working on their website while they were there, and looking forward to being a customer. I want to try tallow, and I'm going to try theirs, so that'll be nice. Let's see. Took pictures with Raymond, took pictures with Todd and Lindy. It was so neat to see them finally meet each other in person, because they do so much together, collaborating, helping people that are extremely morbidly obese. Now, I was morbidly obese, but I was half their size. And so there's going to be people out there that are 700 plus pounds that need hope. And I so admire what they're doing to try to reach out and help those people. And they were just really wonderful, kind, generous individuals. Todd did so much. He reserved and rented the Airbnb that we all stayed at. He coordinated so much. He pitched in a lot of his own money, and he was just amazing. And it was neat to get a chance to sit down and talk with him. He is just a genuine, nice guy, and I'm wishing him all the best for sure with his continued weight loss. And what he's doing is very, very worthwhile. Lindy, such a sweetheart, more shy, and but we got a chance to talk quite a bit, and I absolutely adore her. So it was really neat to get to see them get together finally. And there was a lot of live streams that took place. Bella was coming over a lot and doing a lot of her live streams. Dr. Chafee was coming over and doing his live streams. We had an upstairs in the barn that was really conducive to, getting that done in a nice setting and quiet. And the Wi-Fi in the barn was actually better than the Wi-Fi in the house. Let me see what else. Oh, we got to meet, and I got to make sure I'm pronouncing her name wrong, because some people call her Annalise and some people call her Annalise, and I have to go and figure out for sure which is the right pronunciation. So sorry. But her and Tom, her husband, came. They didn't make it to Hack Your Health, but they came later, and they spent quite a bit of time hanging out with us. She is a moderator on the Meat Sisters Facebook group, and she has her own academy with her business partner. And I definitely hit them up to do a live stream with Dave and I, because a couple of married couples, and so got to know them. She has her own system of helping you identify so much about yourself and get really familiar with who you are. And she kind of went through the process with me, and we kind of identified Dave and his personality and his all of that, and like literally she made me cry. Like the tears just welled up, and Lindy just laughed and said, yeah, that happens. Same thing happened to her. So she's very intuitive. She gave me a copy of her book. Of course, signed it. She has a book, and so Dave was reading it on the way on the airplane on the way home, and I'm going to read it as well before we get together and have a live stream. But wonderful people. They were so nice because, of course, Adam and Carrie left a day before the rest of us, and so there was a set number of people that were left, and Ashley left as well the day before and took his pickup truck. And we realized that we were supposed to have taken all of the trash bags out, way out, like driving distance out to this curb, and put them in these bins. And instead they were piling up in front of this garage at the house, kind of out of the way. But there was so much meat, and 10 days, it was disgusting. It was rancid. There were maggots. I'm sorry, it was so gross. And so Ashley was the only one left with the truck. He had left, and we finally read the details from the checklist in the binder that was in the house, and it said, we're supposed to take it out there and put it in the bins, and anything that doesn't fit in the bins, we're supposed to figure out for ourselves what to do. Oh my gosh. It's like, what are we going to do? We all have rental cars. It was gross. Thank you, Tom. He had his truck. He hauled it all out there. And I'm serious. He had to put this t-shirt around his head to cover his face, and he was still practically gagging. Tom, you are a saint. Thank you so much for doing that. It was so disgusting. Do not leave meat in garbage bags, leftover meat, out in the Texas heat. That's not going to happen again. Wow. Annalise helped us with cleaning up. They took their extra food. We had so much extra food. They took the extra food because they were going to be staying several days longer. So what a lifesaver. So helpful. Let's see. Dave, we took a drive out through Austin because we checked out of our Airbnb, and then we took a drive through Austin. Of course, Dave had to get a picture in front of Joe Rogan's comedy club, The Mothership. A bunch of the crew went to the comedy club, and but I got warning ahead of time from Emily, who went with Steak and Butter Gang, and she said it was pretty vulgar, and I'm just not into that. So the guys were hoping to get Joe Rogan's attention for the documentary. And Lindy was just wanting to have the experience. She didn't really know Joe Rogan. And I think it was kind of funny because after they came back, and Lindy said pretty much everything he said went over her head. So, I mean, she's from Australia, and I'm sure there's tons of cultural references, and there's some the terminology we use is different. All these different things, the things that we say in the U.S. are different. So, but Ashley and Dave and I stayed home, and of course, Carrie's girls stayed home. So that was nice. And we had I think I mentioned last week that Ashley and I had a really great time. Dave has started his PhD program, so he's working on his PhD. So often he would have to go in and work on schoolwork. And so Ashley and I hung out in the barn, and we had a really great time, and we were sharing, music videos. We both like music and shared some really great music together. And Ashley apparently loves a cappella groups, and he loves these old Christian a cappella groups. So he shared some new stuff with me, which was great. Some really amazing singers. And so anyway, we drove by the mothership, and then I'm like, wait a minute, we need to go get a geocache. Okay, so this is my last little clip. Well, my second to the last little thing to say before I share my results. But so it was like 93 degrees, but with humidity, according to my weather app, it felt like 101. So we went to this park to find this geocache, and it was hot. There was a trail that was supposed to lead to the geocache. I didn't know how far it was, but it felt like it was way farther than it was, because it was like sun was beating down. I was kind of halfway there. I thought, I don't think I can do this. I almost turned around, and I was really afraid that I was going to have kind of an MCAS response, and they were going to have to call 911. But Dave said, yeah, you can do it. And so I just I didn't want panic to set in. I just wanted to listen to my body and say, okay, how am I really doing? Because there is a fear, for sure, of being in a situation like that where I'm going to end up needing to go to the hospital. But I just kind of calmed myself down, and I made it. I did it. It was not easy, and there was some kind of steep parts, and on the way back up, Dave kind of just pushed me back up them because they were really steep. But I did it. We found the geocache. I was very happy to get back to the car. It was kind of cool. There was this meadow there, and there was like cactus growing in the middle of the meadow. So odd. I didn't know cactus could grow in the middle of a meadow. But we did it. We got the geocache. I didn't get rosacea flare up. I was red, but you can see I didn't get sunburned. I was just red from the heat, and I don't think it was any more red than anyone else would get. So I consider that a success. It did take me a little bit to recover, blasting the air conditioning on me, drank a lot of water, but I did recover, and I did okay. So I see that as a win. It may not have been the smartest thing for me to do, but I did it, and now I know it was a win. Okay, lastly, before I get to my weight results, one cool thing is that I'm going to be interviewed on Dr. Chafee's channel. So that is so cool. And so July 18th, 5 a.m. my time, Pacific Standard Time, I'm going to be interviewed. I'm assuming it's not going to be a live stream. It's just going to be probably recorded. And so I have no clue when it's actually going to be on his channel. But I'm super excited. That's great. He's a great doctor. I really enjoyed talking to him, and so I feel very blessed that I'm going to have a chance and an opportunity to share my story to his audience. So anyways, I'll give you a little more details as the time approaches. I'll remind you, and if I find out, when I find out when it's actually going to be published, then I will let you know. So super excited about that. Okay, on to my results. So last week, I was just kind of like blown away, not discouraged, but blown away, because it's like this, it said I lost like 3.8 pounds of fat, had lost 0.4 of muscle. The scale showed me down up 3.4 pounds, and I didn't feel like that was accurate. And I know even like when I talked about weighing in today, Coach Raymond from Steak and Butter Gang told me, just wait a couple weeks, don't do it. And I know why they said that, because I'm sure they're used to people who get discouraged and allow the scale to discourage them. But I told Raymond, I said, I think I'm going to go ahead and weigh in anyways, because I really want to just be completely transparent and be honest with myself and honest with you guys, and basically show that you don't have to freak out if you're traveling and you gain weight. I'm not freaking out. I'm not at all. I'm just wanting to be real and say, look, I traveled, I gained weight. I think that's normal. And it's not a reason to panic. And it's not a reason to be down on yourself and start questioning yourself. There's so much more that goes on in the body besides just what you eat. What you eat is important, of course. And I ate carnivore. I didn't cheat at all. But like I said before, the increased cortisol from the travel, the happy stress, but it's still stress on the body. Who knows? Change in climate. I don't know what all impacted my weight, but the reality is that my weight will go back down. It'll adjust, and it already is starting. So as of this morning, I weighed in, and you know what? Usually I have the numbers here. So let me just give me a second. Let's see. I have a picture here of my... Oh, did I take a picture? Sorry, bear with me. Okay, here we go. Oh, you know what? The picture I took is not correct. I'm going to add... By the time you see this, you're going to get the correct picture. So I weighed in at 247.6. All right, much better. The picture I took originally, it didn't include my actual weight. So 247.6, which is down from last week. So last week when I weighed in at 249.2, which was a big increase from the week before. And I'm like, what the heck? So yeah, so it's coming back down. So based on last week's, my scale is down 1.6 pounds. My fat-free body weight stayed exactly the same. And so that means my fat loss from last week was 1.6 pounds. But I'm still not down to where I was 2 weeks ago. So we'll see how things go this week. I have gained back 0.2 of the muscle. I don't know if that was true muscle loss or not, honestly. But this says that I gained back 0.2 of the muscle. My bone has stayed the same. So because my fat-free body weight stayed even, the difference there between the 0.2 of the muscle gain and the fat-free body weight staying zero, it means I lost 0.2 of fluid. So that equals out to zero change in my fat-free body weight. So my actual fat loss over the week was 1.6 pounds. So I'm happy to see that it's going back down. Hopefully, as I'm back in my normal routine, that will continue. I know it will. I'm not worried. So total scale weight from the beginning has to be down 92 pounds. My fat-free body weight is up by 26.2. All right, looks like my screen froze. So I'm not sure where I left out, but I'll start over on this last section. So the scale weight since the beginning has me down 92 pounds. Now realize this is week 54, so it's been over a year. My fat-free body weight is up 26.2 pounds. Of that, 24.8 is muscle, 1.6 is bone. And so I'm down 0.2 of water as of this week. And so my total fat loss from the beginning is 118.2 pounds. Now, before I went on my trip, it was up to 120. Anyways, I'll get there again. I really liked that 120 number. Yeah, I'll get there again. So anyways, overall, I'm pleased that the weight is coming back off. I feel good. My clothes, I feel like my clothes fit me close to the same. I did for a while there have more of a kind of bloated feeling. And so I'm like, okay, I can tell I did lose a little bit of weight. Or not lose, sorry, gain a little bit of weight. But it's okay, I did fine. And so I'm pleased that the trip went well. We're talking about other trips, so we'll see, what's coming next. One thing I wanted to announce is that, we had our book club yesterday, and we are going through, let me show you the book. This is the book. It's called Eat Meat and Stop Jogging, which I love. I never did jog, but it has to do with fitness. It is by this nutrition and fitness expert named Mike Sheridan. And I'm hoping this is going to really help me get the fitness piece of my life worked out, because I struggle. As you know, I struggle in this area. And I really, just in the first couple chapters, it's really impressed upon me that, man, I need to really get my resistance training in and build up a little bit of muscle. He talks about the concerns that a lot of women have about not wanting to bulk up, and he explains why that's not a concern. And one of the things we talked about that he did say, which I really appreciated let me go find it, because it was under his section about women, and I don't know if I can find it. He talks about women's concerns about bulking up. All right, I can't find it now. But anyways, basically what he said is that, oh, here we go. I found it. So he said there's a misconception that focusing on activities that build muscle will make women look like a man or a bodybuilder. First of all, men have much more testosterone, and it's not that easy for men to bulk up either. So even less easy for women. So he said, if you have female friends and acquaintances that lift weights and look bulky, it's because they don't eat right. That made me feel so much better. So much better. So we eat right. We eat the right building blocks for muscle, but we eat correctly. We don't eat the carbs. You know, we have a nice higher fat diet. And so I felt better about that. So, because I have definitely been concerned. I don't want to bulk up and look like a man. Okay. So anyways, if you haven't joined us yet for our book club, join us. We're a bunch of just nerdy people nerding out over books. Speaking of nerdy, this is really nerdy. So there is a crazy thick textbook. Okay. I mean, this is a medical textbook. This is serious stuff. This is no joke. This is a little intimidating for me, to be honest. But this is called Ketogenic, the Science of Therapeutic Carbohydrate Restriction in Human Health. And the editors, Nutrition Network, were at the Hack Your Health conference. So that's cool. But anyways, Carnivore Nurse Kim, Carrie from My Metamorphosis, and myself are going to start a very different type of session. And I think we're going to be doing this on Thursdays. And we are going to be reading, like literally reading through and discussing this book. This could take us forever. I mean, it is meaty, but it's something that is kind of a different approach. We're not going to be pre-reading it and then talking about it like we do with our regular book club. We're going to be just nerding out, and we're going to be reading and kind of, it's like a reading circle, taking turns reading the book, and we can stop and discuss it. It's something that we're just going to try. Honestly, it's something that we're going to do for ourselves. If you want to join us, listen in, learn, we'd love to have you join us. But I always feel as though I want to learn as much as I can about all of these aspects of my life. I have also bought a book, and I don't have it with me, but I bought a book written by Dr. Lawrence Afrin. He is a leading expert on mast cell activation syndrome, and I figured I better read it because I want to know more about my own condition. So we're going to be nerding out. We're going to do this. I don't know if we're going to call it a reading circle or what we're going to call it, but it's going to be something that we're going to do, and I'm looking forward to it, and it's going to be a brand new experience for me. We'll see how it goes. And let's see. For some reason, I think I'm still going here. Sorry about that. All of a sudden, my screen just popped out into doing something else. Okay. All right. That's it for today. I know it's been kind of long. I've had a lot to report. I hope you are all having an absolutely wonderful day. And I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.